Hello guys and welcome. This is my DK gear. As you can see, it's 5.6. I don't have any tier set bonus. I'm lucky that I have seen the trinket, but the rest of the gear is pretty much Icecrown, ICC 10 man, and some items from blacksmith. I'm using the spec with that is giving melee haste on my blood decay, and I have glyph for pestilence and rune tap. So let's start. First thing you want to do is just spam icy touch. After you get your icy touch on cooldown, you BT, spam again icy touch, and then you use your rune word weapon so you can keep spamming icy touch to build as much TPS on the boss as you can. Once the trap is up, in this case it was on Millis, you just move a bit so the Millis can follow the Lich King and move away from the trap. Here what I'm trying to do is just keep building aggro on Lich King, spreading my disease on ghouls and downing one ghouls if I can. If not, I'm just leaving them to probably there on the warrior. Here I'm gonna use my MS anti-magic shield when she is casting, when the Lich King is casting Infest, and I can use my CD trinket again on that, so I can prevent some of the damage that is gonna hit me with the Infest. That way it's gonna be easier for the healers to heal me. Again, we are keep moving with the Lich King, just doing my damage. Here and there I can throw Death Strike if I see that I need heal, or a rune tap to heal myself. Like nothing outside the ordinary. Second Shamanic is up, so I decide to move Lich King in the middle. The off tank is gonna pick up the both Shamanics and he will run out of the platform because at 70% we're gonna push Lich King. Here Necrotic jump on me, so I went as much close as I can and get this spell. I'm not sure if this Necrotic jump on the Shamanic, but it's fine. Now we're gonna push into the first transition phase here. I'm just waiting for the Raging Spearing to show up so I can taunt and spam as much icy touch on him as I can so I can build as much TPS and just keeping him away from the raid and the same time away from the off tank, so when he's doing his cast Soul Shrink, he's not gonna hit the tank as you saw. I did throw ice chains on the Shamling, that way if the off tank wanted to kite the Shamling, he could do that, but instead of that he just decided to stay on one place and tank the damage. He didn't die, but usually you want to learn to kite this damage from the horror Shamlings when they are under 20%. Another Raging Spirit is up, the tank that is tanking them is usually the off tank. Now we are entering into the second phase. Here I'm staying a bit on the back, so the raid DPSers can kill the spheres on the back. Now the ideal here is to keep Lich King in the middle and the rest of the guys in the raid just going spread around the inner circle. First Soul Reaper is happening right after Infest, so I'm just gonna pop two of my cooldowns, AMS I believe, and the other one is the one that is improving your heal received by 15%. Here I'm just kiting the melee hits, and now I'm gonna move the Lich King again back to the middle. As you saw, I use run tap exactly after the last tick on Soul Reaper. That way I heal myself for a good chunk amount, and that will help me to not die, because the thing that you can die here is when the tick is happening on the Soul Reaper. Again here in the tick, and again I heal myself. Like this is a lot of healing, around 40%. Since I don't have BT as a cooldown to reduce the damage with 12% on every second Soul Reaper, I'm asking one of the paladins to do Hand of Sacrifice with me which is fine. So here another Soul Reaper. I'm gonna use again AMS and the cooldown that it's making healers to heal me with 15% more, and I can also heal myself with that as well. As you can see, I'm dropping, and I just use run up to heal myself again. I'm staying in the middle. People are spreading for defile, and I'm just keeping Lich King close to the Valks. Next Soul Reaper is happening here. I'm like, okay, the rate is gonna move a lot, and probably I'm gonna use IBF, so I'll be pretty safe to tank whatever damage is coming. As you can see, even with IBF, uh, I'm not taking that much damage, and this Soul Reaper is over. Now we're gonna have Defile and the Valk, and after that, we're gonna have another Soul Reaper. For this Soul Reaper, I'm gonna use again my anti-magic shield with the cooldown that making the healers healing me for more, which is really strong cooldown. At the end of the last tick on the Soul Reaper, I just heal myself with run tap. It's pretty easy, as you can see, like we are on second phase and I already healed myself for like almost 400k, which is fine. Most of this is run tap and death strike that I'm using when the Lich King have Soul Reaper on me, and the melee haste after that. Here we're gonna have another Soul Reaper. I'm using Cindy Trinket. I'm putting Mark of Blood just to help a bit with the healing. And I'm just kiting the damage, healing myself again with front up, and just keeping Lich King close to the Valk so the DPSers can DPS. Now after the person that is grabbed is dropped, I'm just gonna keep sitting close to the edge so we can push Lich King and go into the second transition phase. As you can see, second transition phase is when Lich King is reaching 40%. Now we are entering. Probably I'm gonna use IMS here just to migrate some of the damage that is happening, because it's spell damage and IMS is absorbing spell damage. Now here, what we want to do is just spread around and kill the Raging Spirit. The off tank is gonna take out the Raging Spirits here. There is no need for me to take any Raging Spirits, and I just pop Hysteria on the Warrior, so he can do more damage and we're gonna kill faster the Raging Spirits. Nothing interesting is happening here. I'm just staying on the side, because if for some reason the tank that is tanking Raging Spirits lose aggro, I can instantly taunt and I'm not gonna be silenced because I'm not in front of the Raging Spirits. We are keep doing damage on the Raging Spirits. I'm trying to do damage as much as I can as DK tank also, so I'll help them be down fast. Last Raging Spirits, it's about to come. I'm saying on a tank that I'm gonna taunt it just to be sure that he's not gonna face Lich King, not Lich King, the Raid. Here I pop one cooldown that is on 1 minute because I'm gonna have this cooldown like after we exit first Frostmoon Chamber. So it's always nice to pop some cooldown before you entering into the second into the last phase and first Frostmoon Chamber. We are running around here in the room, like close to the wall, dodging the bombs that are dropping from the sky. And if I see that some spirit is coming our way, I'm just gonna press Icy Touch to slow this spirit. We are just moving slowly, kiting these bombs. And basically that's how the fight goes. Here, the one thing that you can do, like when you see some of your raid members is going low on HP, you can use Rune Tap, because I have the glyph for it, so I'll heal him. Which not that much, but it's gonna help for sure. Here Soul Reaper is happening, so I just pop my 2 cooldowns as usual, and I even received Hands of Sacrifice. On the last phase as a tank, no matter what class you play, you always want to use your biggest cooldowns as a tank on the second Soul Reaper, because this is the time when the Vile Spirits are coming from the sky and you want to be able to have big cooldowns so you can soak them. As you can see, I pop IBF and CD Trinket, so I'm pretty much safe here. I didn't receive a lot of healing, as you see, but I still didn't drop because the people had to move from Defile and the upcoming Raging Spirits, upcoming Val Spirits, I mean. Okay, so I just moved the boss from the next side of the platform here. I'm just waiting so we can enter into the second Frostmourne chamber. Second Frostmourne chamber, nothing different than the first one. Again, here we are just moving, dodging the Wicked Spirits as much as we can, and the bombs that are dropping in the sky. Usually there is one person that is leading the raid, and the rest of the raid don't want to go in front of him, because the bombs are gonna spawn in front and you have to move a lot more than usual. So we are just moving, killing wicked spirits, dodging bombs. That's what we are doing here. If you see that you're gonna get hit with something, you can always use AMS and be ready to use front up so you can heal yourself. We are going outside here. I'm gonna receive another Hands of Sacrifice. I'm gonna pop some lesser cooldown on me because right after the last tick on the right after the last tick on Soul Reaper, he's gonna start casting Val Spirit, so the chance that I'll die is very low because he cannot hit me there when I'm receiving the hugest amount of damage from the Soul Reaper. Again, now I'm gonna face the Lich King towards the Vile Spirits that are coming from the sky. We are popping some cooldowns, Cindy Trinket, and the one that I'm receiving more healing. Now I'm just spamming Death Strike here so I can heal myself. He casts Vile Spirits and I'm gonna move him again onto the other side of the platform. I'm just jumping, moving like whatever, and we are entering into the first Frostmourne chamber. Probably this is gonna be the last Frostmourne chamber because the boss is like at 16%. So all we have to do is just survive this Frostmourne chamber. Unfortunately, one of the raid members did die on the Val Spirits that was coming on the second wave. Probably he was not stuck behind Lich King and stuff like this, that's why he died. But we didn't have battle res because we battle res somebody at the beginning of the first transition phase, I believe. So we don't have battle res here, and we're gonna continue just 9 men, which is fine. It's not that we're gonna wipe or something. So when we go out, I'm gonna pop some of my cooldowns to live through this Soul Reaper, and then I'm gonna pop also the rest of my cooldowns when the Val Spirits are coming. Here I'm seeing that we have enough DPS to push Lich King under 10% before the Val Spirits are dropping, so I'm not gonna move him at all. I'm just staying on one place and DPSing. You can see on Skara that I heal myself for like 735k. Most of these healings is actually actual healing, not dump healing. What I mean by actual healing mean that when I'm receiving damage from Soul Reaper, I'm using always run tap on after the last tick of the Soul Reaper and right before Lich King get the melee haste buff from the Soul Reaper. So this is like 40 or even more K heals every time on that. And the rest of the healing is Death Strike. Of course, Skada is showing anti-magic shield absorption as well as this. And there is some healing from the Mark of Blood. This is the loot, and this is my first clear